Well, it appears, guys, that DC Studios might have their own plans for animated DC projects moving forward. But where does that leave all these direct-to-DVD movies and animated series all of us fans love so much? Well, it appears we have some answers via one of the DC Animated Universe's executive producers. Now, in case you didn't know, Butch Lukic has been a fixture at the DC Animated Universe, well, for decades, and oversaw the whole Tomorrowverse universe as an executive producer. Now, because of this, he oversaw all 10 direct-to-DVD features, which kicked off with Superman Man of Tomorrow and recently finished up with Crisis on Infinite Earth Part 3. Now, during this window these features were being released, a ton changed behind the scenes, and now at DC Studios looking to make a single shared DC universe, where does it leave all these animated movies? Well, recently that producer, Butch Lukic, was talking with comicbookmovie.com and dove in a little bit on what's happening and gave us kind of a big clue. Now, in an interview he said, "You never know. Right now, I can't say anything as far as what they want to do beyond these. Obviously, the James Gunn DC universe is what's important right now. As far as anything to jump off of this stuff, I think it's very secondary, so it's going to be more aligned to whatever the DCU is as James Gunn works it out." Now, we know in the DC Animated Universe, Watchmen is up next, but boy does it sound like moving forward, at least for the movies, that some of these can continue under an Elseworlds banner, but it seems like it is going to focus on the James Gunn universe. Now, what does this mean for other projects? Obviously, direct-to-DVD movies could be impacted by this, but I noticed James Gunn didn't announce any of those. But he has announced some animated series. Now, this is where the confusion comes in, because the animated series coming our way are not just in the DCU. We have Batman Caped Crusader, Kite Man is releasing right now, and another season of Harley Quinn is on the way. Not to mention, many of us fans are hopeful for another round or 3 of Young Justice. Now, if you're asking me, what I think is going to happen is, as Gunn has said, there's plenty of room under the Elseworlds banner, and honestly, existing series are really the easiest thing to stand on. Now, the end of Crisis on Infinite Earth really seemed to wipe out most of the animated universes. We saw the whole DCAU get wiped out, we heard mention of Earth 16, and pretty much every world, as in the comics, got compressed down to 1, and now that is a full animated reboot, which is likely to be the DCU. It could be Gunn's full intention to wrap everything under this banner. But honestly, guys, as of right now, we truly don't know. I actually believe there is a future for many of our favorite shows, including Young Justice, but it seems like for right now, when we're looking at the DC Animated Universe and DC Animated Direct-to-DVD release, well, I think a lot of that will likely be standalone Elseworld features, and anything that's kind of serialized or telling a larger story, that's going to be contained within the DCU grander plan. Now, you know we'd like to say positive, but on the negative side here, I think DC is making a bit of a mistake here. The legacy of DC animated movies alone go back, well, decades, and they have been hitting home runs since Mask of the Phantasm, which is still considered one of the best Batman movies ever. I really hope James Gunn's new plan is not to discard most of these animated projects out of fear of competition. Obviously, Kite Man and Harley Quinn are not set in the same world he's doing, and Batman Caped Crusader, which was already in production when he started, is clearly something of a different vein. But I do worry about projects that are close to my heart, like Young Justice, that are clearly serialized stories that could compete directly with the DCU, and that might not be what he wants to do. I think that would be a total disaster, and really a thumb in the eye to many of us fans who've loved these shows for decades and really don't want to see them just put on the shelf and discarded for something new for the sake of it being new. Obviously, none of this is confirmed as of yet, but I know with all the DC animated fans on this channel, we need some kind of answers, and at least now we know that moving forward, at least according to Lukic, well, it's going to be James Gunn focused, and we're going to have to look to him for all the answers. What they are, well, we're going to have to wait and see.